be taking a look at a new strategy for this channel and how this strategy worked from a pattern from the past and a pattern from the present. So I do encourage you to pay very close attention to this. Also share this with others that you know that plays the game Pick 3. It really means a lot. Right now, we're looking at the state of Louisiana. Louisiana is a state with one drawing a day, 7 days a week. And this is September 2020, the overall column results. So if you've been with me since the very beginning, you already know what this is. The number on the left-hand side represents each and every day for the month of September 2020. The number on the right represents which column that played for that specific day. Now you may refer to columns as the hit sum of the day, okay? I recommend that you wait 13 to 15 days and allow for your state to manifest a pattern. See which column they're playing from the most, see which column they're playing from the least, and see which column is not playing at all. And this will help you minimize your combination selections and also prepare you for bigger hits. Now I'd like to point out that on the 20th and the 30th, we do not have what column that played on those dates because we're doing this video in the month of September at this present time, okay? We're right towards the end of this month. So as we can see, on September the 3rd, they played from column 4. And on September the 4th, they played from column 7, okay? And then we can see later in the month, 10 days later, on the 13th, they came back to column 4. And on the 14th, they played column 4 again. And on the 15th, they played column 7, okay? So we'll get back to this pattern, okay, later on in this video. So it's very important that you pay close attention to this and watch this video into the duration, okay? On the 6th of September, they played from column 8. And on the 7th of September, they played from column 8 again, okay? And then on the 8th of September, they played from column 3, okay? Now, if I was playing this drawing, okay, on the 7th, when the 8 column came back, I definitely would have considered combinations coming from column 3 on the 8th and column 3 only. Now, I know it's within the 13 to 15 day mark to wait for a pattern, but I'll tell you why I would have played column 3 on the 8th, okay? So I need for you to really check this out. Let's take a quick flashback at September 2019's overall column results for Louisiana. Now I need for you to pay attention to what's outlined in red and also pay attention to what column that was played on the 15th. Okay, we see that column 7 was played on the 15th of this year. Okay, so I need for you to see what was played last year of this month on the 15th. But make sure you pay attention to what's outlined in red from last year's overall column results. Take a look. So this is the reason why I would have considered combinations coming from column 3 on the 8th and column 3 only. It was worth a shot to see if the same pattern from last year would come back. So for this, we decided to use a rundown strategy. So if you're familiar with rundowns, I know a lot of people have their favorite type of rundowns they like to use. Maybe it's 369 or 317 or 321 or 111. Okay, we're using the combination that played on the 7th from column 8, 675. We're using that combination as our rundown, okay? So we're just adding the number back into itself 10 times until we come right back to it. So you know when doing rundowns, if you come across a double-digit total, we always use the number that's in the ones position. So 6 plus 6 is 12, so we're using the 2, okay? 7 plus 7 is 14, we're using the 4. 5 plus 5 is 10, we're using the 0, okay? And we just keep adding the number into itself all the way down 10 times until we come back to the original combination. Okay, so I knew that I was going to be looking for combinations from column 3 and column 3 only, according to the pattern that I saw last year. Now remember, each individual column only has 22 combinations. So I want to find all the combinations I can from column 3 in this rundown. And if you've seen rundown videos I did from the past, I like using the middle part of the rundown. I consider that the heart of the rundown. you will find 70 to 80% of your winning combinations inside or right around the heart of the rundown. Okay, so for column 3, this is what I found: 1, 4, 8, and we know the numbers have to be touching, just like in tic-tac-toe. So we have the 4 and the 8 on top of the heart, and the 1 right here, also going straight down. 6, 2, 5, right here in the heart of the rundown. 8, 0, 5, okay, we have the 8 and 0 on top and the 5 inside. 4, 3, 6, we have the 6 on the bottom of the heart and the 4 and 3. 9, 6, 8, we have the 6 and 9 inside the heart and the 8 right here. 2, 0, 1, okay, with the 0 on top of the heart. 2, 8, 3, we have the 2 inside the heart, the 8 and the 3. 2, 2, 9, a double, all inside the heart of the rundown. And 300, we have the 0 on the bottom of the heart. Okay, so if I was going to try this strategy, I definitely would have played all these combinations from column 3. It was worth a shot to see if this strategy would work and to see if they would come back to that pattern from last year. Okay, and sure enough, on the 8th, they played 4, 3, 6, 4, 6, 3 right here. So this definitely would have been a hit for me. Okay, so I encourage you to monitor exactly what your state is doing. I encourage you to get the overall column results for your state so you know what to look for each and every month, especially next year. Okay, now we're going to take a look at this pattern. Okay, on the 4th, on the 3rd, they played column 4. On the 4th, they played column 7. Okay, on the 13th, column 4 again. On the 14th, column 4. And on the 15th, column 7. Okay, now on the 14th, I definitely would have considered combinations coming from column 7. Okay, it would have been 10 days later. Okay, so I would have tried a strategy and it would not have worked. Okay, but when the 4 column repeated itself, I would have considered what happened earlier in the month. Okay, with this pattern right here. So I know it's a strong possibility that 7 could come back on the 15th. Okay, so we're going to use this same strategy to see if we can find the winning combination on the 15th. Okay, so check this out. So on the 14th of September, from column 4, the combination that played was 0, 1, 3. Okay, so we're using that combination as our rundown. Okay, we add the same way 10 times until we come back to the original combination. We're looking in the heart of the rundown, and we know that we're going to be looking for combinations coming from column 7. Okay, this pattern started in the beginning of the month. Okay, it's a strong possibility that the pattern could come back, especially the fact that last year column 7 played on the 15th. Okay, so this was like a definite thing to consider over everything, was this column. Okay, the date would match and they would match the pattern. Okay, knock out 2 birds with 1 stone with this. Okay, so for column 7 in this rundown, I found 6, 9, 2 right here on the top of the heart. 4, 5, 8 with the 4 on the top, the 5 and 8 inside the heart. 6, 7, 4, you have the 6 and 7 inside the heart, the 4 sticking out. 8, 9, 0, the 8 on the bottom of the heart, and you have the 0 and 9 down here. 0, 4, 3, you have the 0 inside the heart, the 3 and the 4 also right here. 0, 6, 1, right here in the heart of the rundown. 0, 5, 2, you have the 0 and 5 inside the heart with the 2. 700 inside the heart of the rundown. So I definitely would have considered all 8 of these combinations, okay, on the 15th. It was worth a shot to see if this strategy would work, okay, and to see if they would come back to column 7 on the 15th, okay. Now remember, the same strategy worked right here with this pattern, okay. It worked again with this pattern. As you can see on the 15th, they played 9, 0, 8 from column 7. So this definitely would have been a hit, okay. Same strategy worked and similar patterns, different columns, okay. That's why it's very important to monitor exactly what your state is doing, okay? It's very important to explore this channel and find the strategies that work for your state, okay? Learn to minimize those combination selections, figure out what your state is doing from month to month, get the overall column results, get the monthly forecast, and prepare for bigger hits. If you found this information useful, I do encourage you to share with others that you know that plays the game Pick 3 or uses rundowns as strategies. Always remember, it's always better to give than receive. And the more you learn, the more you earn. Take care, everybody.